These are the mountains that you see from the balcony. All around. Over here, maybe 4 kilometers you walk. In that direction, maybe 2, is the ocean. The east sunrise. The west sunset. North. And the south. Men at work planting their rice fields. Anyway, I show you these mountains from a different location because today you're seeing something happening. In Africa that most of you have never seen in your life. The last time events like this took place is when the African leaders that you see in power today were young children. Most of them overthrew the original leaders, installed themselves, and built a military to protect themselves. All that done with the help of the French, British, German, EU, America, in order to control the minerals and give it to who will put the most money in their bank accounts. Today in Nigeria, the amount of money stolen in one day can build roads all across West Africa in almost every village. Can build schools and hospitals all across West Africa in every state. And I'm talking about good hospitals, hiring the best doctors that have left Nigeria and all of the West and all of West Africa and moved to America and England, France, Germany. Hire the best professors to come in and teach. The best lab technicians that left. Nurses. Bring them all back and start this place. That's how much money is stolen in Nigeria by the government. Ghana, not far behind. Kenya, not far behind. You see, the other day, one of Kenya's parliamentarians telling you how much money is stolen, and he's begging his brothers, you don't have to steal that much, because now the youth are going to throw us all out. Huh? Were you listening? Bet you 99% of the diasporans, maybe more than that, 0.01% of you know anything about the country that you're going to, except for what kind of house you can find, what price the house. You don't know too much. You don't know anything about the economics of the country, the education system, what drives the people, the culture. You that moved to South Africa, If I asked you before the election if black South Africans would vote in the DA, and then the same party that was formed by the West under Nelson Mandela would join DA, you would told me I was a liar. But I've seen African culture. I've seen how people act. Even Malema is upset. And he knows. He's been trying to educate them. 10 years he left he left the ANC, formed the EFF with other people. And decided to, you know what, we have to work for our own people. But their own people turned around and voted in the people who ran the apartheid system. And he came out the other day and said, you know what, we are tired with you. Don't come to us when you need a borehole drill. Your ANC and DA that you voted for, go to them. Because that's what's been happening. The people who voted for the ANC and DA and the other ANC, well, his ANC is formed his own party because he was out of power. But you who go to South Africa encouraging other diasporans to come. Oh, it's so great here. You're the advisors to other diasporans and don't see what's going on. Can't tell the diasporans the facts. Same thing in Tanzania and the people. Don't, you lying to people. Nigeria, Ghana, even the Ghanaian bloggers, Kenyan bloggers, they're about building their own little house. Well, I'm building $1 million house for my mom. I'm building $1 million house for myself and my girlfriend. And you all behind in the background cheering, yay! I show you the mountains from a different perspective because some of you are now seeing the changes going on that the youth are making in Africa as your own entertainment. To you, it is entertainment. You're sitting back and say, wow, yeah, throw out the colonial. The search for entertainment has corrupted your mind. And just like I'm hoping that showing you this from a different perspective, the mountains, and you can see how different it looks. African youth jumped into the fire because of something that the West did. IMF, World Bank, they finally decided to return with the, didn't wait until the war they started ended in Europe. They returned to capture all of Africa. If you look at what's happening is because of the laws that the IMF has drafted and was waiting until the war ended, but now they see that the war cannot end, so they have to move into Africa quickly. And they made all the states, especially in what they call sub-Saharan Africa, implement all these laws at the same time. Akofo in Ghana says it will be done. In Nigeria, he says it will be done. In Kenya, their man was sleeping. He was in there being patted on the back when the youth stood up. And all the old men are suddenly pointing fingers at each other and saying, you are the cause of this, you are the cause of this, you, all of them. The other day I saw a video about Uganda. And the president is having this great speech to his parliament. And all of the old men are asleep. All of them are sitting in front of him asleep. And people are saying, this is wickedness. No, it's not. They don't have to hear what he says because they know that the money is coming. Good morning. How are you? Good weather, huh? Yeah. They know that the money is coming, even if they're asleep. When they get the money, they're gonna get divided by themselves. Now, the president now hearing the rumors that they're coming for him, the youth are gonna come for him, and he's threatening people. What you doing in other countries, it's not gonna happen here. Yes, it will. The old men in Africa should pick up their stuff and leave. They forget what happened in China. When Mao came in, all of them died. Only people left were the youth. Fidel Castro came into power, and all the old families in Cuba, they ran to Miami. When change comes, real change. You see why real change can't come to Haiti? Because the old people. Why real change can't come to Jamaica? The old people. And I'm not saying they're old because of age. Old because of the mentality. They are there to keep the colonial mindset in place. To them, if they're between the European and the average Jamaican, the poor Jamaican, they're that 1% that keep everything under control. They're happy. They can fly out of Jamaica on their jet when things go wrong. Diaspora is going to Africa. You're going to find yourself in that little position between the poor African, the one who now is standing up, and the rich African, because you don't have as much money as the rich African. You can't put your money in a suitcase. You don't have enough to fill the suitcase. And some of them have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 suitcases full of money. What are you going to do when change comes? Are you prepared for what's going to happen? Or are you going to be behind your walls watching your TV, watching CNN Netflix and thinking that, oh, I'm not in America now. Safe from the policeman, safe from the executioner. When bullets start flying like they did in Nairobi the other day, when the police in Kenya start killing people, when the bodies, finding bodies in the trash, on the dumps, the trash dumps, people who are upset because they're hungry, the police send out to kill Nigeria. All over Africa, 20% of the population is army, police, corruption. Those are the ones who keep the people in power. The immigration, the people who control the ports. Most of these same people live in conditions that are deplorable, but they're still fighting to keep their African masters in the position that they are. Beware, aware of the place that you're going, the situation you put yourself in. Be aware of the situation you're putting yourself in. I hope you're not seeing this as entertainment and you're preparing well if you are going to go to Africa to live. Peace.